I'm going to carve this little rhino. Carving this small is very difficult. Man, this one is pretty small. It's probably the smallest one I have. You just go slow and steady. Carve out the outlines of the horns. I've got this little nostril that I want to carve first before I go into the horn itself. And now I gotta get this upper lip area. I want to round out that mark on the outside of the nose. Too big. Grab the one that's too big. I'm just gonna line it up and just kind of shallowly go just to round that mark off. I've got a lot of different tools and I've misplaced. There it is, my little V-gouge. There it is. Alright, so it's very important that I don't overcarve in this area, that I maintain this little line here. So I'm going to put a mark with my X-Acto knife so I don't carve past that. It should just pop out. Alright, so I'm getting a little bit of peeling here, so I'm concerned this line might break away. So I'm just going to stop that with an X-Acto mark. And then the problem area just chips away. Into the little horn area. I want to maintain like a little bit of a shadow. So I'm gonna come in with the X-Acto knife so I don't go past this point. And then I'm gonna just carve little hatch marks in that direction. Then I'm going to come up this way a little bit to separate that horn slightly, and then I'm going to make these a little bit smaller. This one's really big. There we go. Once again, I don't want to go past those points, so I'm just going to hit it with the X-Acto blade. And now I can carve up into that point without being afraid of it chipping too much away. Alright, so now I'm going to do a loop-de-loop to get the ear out. I'm going to start the curve on this side, and I'm going to come around and finish it over there, and it'll just chip away. Same thing over here. But this one's actually connected to the head, so I'm going to carve through that line, start the curve, and then back on this side, finish it. So we got the head all carved out now. Actually, I don't like that little mark, so I'm just going to get rid of this right here. And then I'm going to break this line up. Alright. Now for the rest of the body. It's best to keep these small carvings pretty simple. So I'm not going to do a whole lot of... I'm mainly just going around the lines here. I still want it to look like a woodcut, and it still will because that's what it is. But I'm not going to do a whole lot of different woodcut techniques to make different patterns and stuff. Just because it's so small, it would just confuse it. I'm following the outside of the lines with my tool, kind of how you would work in Illustrator. With the pen tool, if you wanted to draw a line, you draw the outside of the line to fill in the inside of the line. If you wanted it to have any sort of depth to it and thickness. I'm doing the same thing with the edge of my tool. The back right here is one opportunity that I have for different fun woodcut techniques though. So I'm going to take advantage of that. And do kind of of a little zigzaggy pattern with my mark making. I want there to be a really clean line against this circle here. So I'm just going to score that with my X-Acto blade and then carve up against it and then define the outer edge of the circle. Get rid of the extra marks that I don't need. And then carve on the inside of the circle. Just pop that on out. Easy peasy. Alright, here's going to be a real difficult thing to do, and it's to carve out the little nails here. So I'm going to score the bottom of the nails and do the same kind of pop technique that I just did with my little U-gouge. Pop it out. Pop it out. And then I'm going to do the same over here on the second leg. Score it with the X-Acto. Pop it out. Pop it out. Perfect. We'll score there so I can show that there's an edge of that leg. Alright, the belly. Oh, actually, I want to round these. I want to round these off in here. Now the belly. And I want these to come clean up to those circle lines that I just made, the rounded off marks. So I'm just going to take my X-Acto knife and score up against those. And then carve to it. It should work pretty nicely. And now the back leg. And this is a real simple drawing that I did. I did the drawing last night. I was just kind of doodling around as I was watching movies directly onto the wood. Scrap woods. And I don't put a whole lot of thought into these. I just I draw for like 5 to 10 minutes. A real simplified thing, and then I reinforce it with Sharpie, and then I make it. I didn't do that mark on purpose, but it's kind of nice. So I'm just gonna create a little shadowy technique there. And then I've got 2 things left to do, which is the little toes in the back. And then the tail. Ooh, I think I just popped that out. Use my blade to remove this. I think I saved it before it completely popped off. And actually, one last thing is I'm going to just get the inside of these little dots popped out. And then it is finished. This little rhino. It's so small. Just a fun little piece. So thanks for watching me carve this little rhino. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Hit that thumbs up, bell icon, all those stuff. I just said all the words in a weird way, and they probably didn't make any sense. But you know what to do. Thanks. Bye.